Hey, what's happening, everybody? This is Brad from the band The National Pool here, and we are trying out a whole new deck that I just pieced together in Modern. I had this actually go up to like 72 cards. I couldn't really decide, but this is what we're going to start out with. So this is all just my own brew of chaos. Swamps are the main synergy. We're running 24 swamps, 18 creatures, and 18 other. So, got some kind of interesting stuff here. This Corlash has the regen, but basically, discard another card named Corlash. Search your library for two swamps, battlefield tap. So that's pretty good. So, our curve starts at 4, which is going to put us back a bit, really. So we're hoping that Thoughtseize and Victim of the Night can do some work until then. We're just going to have to make some tweaks as we go. I had a lot of other cards that I wanted to put in here, and maybe we will. I was even kind of thinking about going with like a Tormented Soul sword plan. Corrupt is probably going to be one of our finishers. I just found out about this card today. Lashwraith, Living Weapon, 1/1 for each swamp you control. So that seems interesting. And then I decided to go with sort of fire and ice because I think that red and blue are going to be giving us the most trouble in this deck. So that will, if we can swing through for damage, we're able to draw a card off of it and then deal 2 damage to a creature or player. So that'll help us kind of finish up the game. We're running Mutilate, which is our just budget version of Damnation. And then we've also got some synergy with Whip of Erebos and Grey Merchant for some life gain, and then 2 Liliana Dark Realms to get more swamps. I got the Geralf's Messenger in here just because he's good, and he starts at 3 casting costs. We're really going to need something to put on the board, and I feel like that's a threat that's kind of a pain to deal with once it's kind of out there. So let's go ahead and give this a shot. At the moment, I think I'm just calling it Mono Black. I'm sure it will develop into something else over time. And I'm not quite sure what to expect out of this, although I'm definitely expecting that the casting cost that we set for ourselves here with 4, most things starting at 4, that's going to be our biggest hurdle, especially against like a red deck wins deck. That's going to be a tough matchup for us here. So this is probably, I don't know if this I'm going to keep it. We'll see how we go. So our target here is Desecration Demon on turn 4. And Speak of the Devil. Speak of the Goblins. I don't know how much something like... what was I thinking of? Yeah, so they're setting up pretty good. I was thinking about doing like some copies of Tragic Slip in here. That could help us. Another Liliana. And we'll see how much of a threat the Desecration Demon becomes, where they can sack it, and it looks like this deck is definitely wanting an outlet to sacrifice stuff to. Hopefully, again, we're hoping for a lot here. We're hoping Whip of Erebos can eventually bring back our life total. I was worried about not having enough cards in hand, but this seems to be quite the opposite. I suppose it's better to have stuff to cast than not, though. Okay, so that's kind of like a Dark Confidant type card. So there's a chance. I mean, no, it comes starts at 3. Then we just kill it. So we could really use life gain or like a sweeper. You know, maybe splashing one. Let's go ahead and mutilate. I think that'll be good for us here. We just got to clear this out. He's only got 2 cards in hand. So we're going to be taking some damage here, and he's going to be gaining some. Let's go ahead and yield. That hurts. That hurts a lot. Maybe we throw down Erebos so they... Well, all that stuff is done. So maybe we do Erebos. I feel like we need to get something on board, though, before we do that, just to prevent his life gain. I don't think he's going to be gaining that much life. We might want to tick up... Grab a Liliana and tick that up. So he might have some stuff with haste, but you know, we'll see. Actually, let's get on board here. Let's go Geralf's Messenger. Maybe should have dropped the Desecration Demon, but I wanted just to... And that's it for us here. So if we miss a land drop next turn, then we can cast Liliana. Let's see what's in the revealed zone. Blood Artist. Okay, so he's going to be throwing a lot of other creatures on the board here. What would be good for that we have? Maybe not. I didn't know this comes into play tapped. I haven't seen that card in a long time. So yeah, so he's going to be making tokens with... Oh, tokens with haste. Sacrifice those. Oh, Jesus. Okay, so tokens with haste that sacrifice, then he's going to gain the life. So I think we need to drop the Erebos, God of whatevs. Is that... Yeah, it costs 4... And this will, just in case we trade here. Some might be good to do things before combat. What I'm looking at doing here is just off of this potential trade. I don't want him to be able to gain the life. So we know all these things are going to have haste. 3 or... Yeah, I don't know if swinging in is the best decision, but we might as well, I guess. So at least when those tokens die, he's not going to be able to gain the life back. We're kind of on par with each other, at least as far as life totals go, and hand size. It's 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess that's game. Yep, that's game. Okay, so let's go back to the drawing board here. We're gonna get there. And I'm kind of glad that we played our worst matchup first. Kind of glad that we did our worst matchup first, just so we know just actually how bad it can be. So I think we can, let's just start cutting things ruthlessly. I feel like the Mutilate worked pretty good. Geralf's Messenger was alright. Let's see what we have as far as like low casting cost stuff that can maybe double as other things. Sort by for mana cost. Black, okay. I guess we gotta get through these swamps. Yeah, so I've always kind of been a fan of Dead Weight. That's a cool card. Victim of the Night takes 2. I think we want to be able to be right on par with them. But then I think I really like Disfigure, though, too, because it's at instant speed. What could we possibly take out? I tell you what, for the moment, let's drop the Sword of Fire and Ice. I think Whip of Arrow, having all of our creatures have lifelink, that's going to be just integral to our strategy here. Underworld Connections, we could probably drop this, I think, as long as we're dropping stuff. And maybe go down to 3 copies of Thoughtseize. And that'll make room for 4 copies of Disfigure. Let's see, just by chance, what other instance we have that can kill stuff. Oh, Undying Evil. That was the jam in Standard Pauper when that was out. That was so good. So we've got our Victim of the Night here. So what I'm looking at in the Disfigure is another instant speed to get rid of smaller creatures. Devour... Actually, Geth's Verdict would just be a better version of that. Destroy target creature with converted mana cost 3 or less. That's not really there. Grasp of Darkness. I've always been a fan of Murder, but then by that turn we'll already be on Geth's Verdict. So we got a bit more to do. Oh, we're at 61. I think we can get rid of Surgical Extraction. It's probably more of a sideboard card anyway. So will this get us there? I like this a lot, but that's definitely just like a win more card, I think. Do we even run that? Maybe we need more removal. Like mass removal, like cheap mass removal. We could go... Yeah, I would just hate... I feel like we're going to have some trouble actually, like, getting around to equipping that. So let's throw in a Tragic Slip. Just like a one-of. And let's run with that. And for those of you guys on YouTube, check back tomorrow and see how this version of the deck goes.